Hey, good morning. Trying out something new with the headphones today. So remember, I have a built-in microphone already in my body. So let me know if I'm screaming at you guys, because I just won't know. I have headphones in and I hear funny that way. But I wanted my audio to be a little louder for everybody, which I think is funny because, like I told you, I literally have a projecting voice on a normal basis. Like, I'm your friend that you need to get everybody's attention. Alright, so I entitled today's video, How to Decide if Homeschooling is for You. So it's getting to be back to school time, so all of this is at the top of everybody's mind. But first things first, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit the notification bell and leave me a comment. Stop by and say hi. We're a big old community, so I want to make sure I know who's there, and I know people like to lurk in the shadows. So when you're done lurking in the shadows, come out and say hi. We'll be there for you. And if you're on Facebook, leave me a message, drop a comment so I can see you there. And let's get started. All right. I'm going to take you actually through the process that I thought of when I thought that we were being called to homeschool. And I just had a feeling. I was like, I don't think Ellie is going to be going to public school. I just don't think that's a fit. And I'm going to give you a little background and some stories. Like, I'm a product of public school. I went to college. Like most of us was raised to go to college and have a good job. And sold us on that American dream, which I'm letting you know that's not quite correct. It doesn't usually work out that way. And I also used to teach in the public schools, and I was a preschool teacher. So I got to have the little ones and the big ones. And if you ever talk to me, I'm going to let you know that a 2- and 3-year-old and a freshman in high school are about the same. They're just emotionally in two different places. That's my belief on that. They're both trying to figure out their way in the world, and they're learning so much. Okay, so process I thought about. How, first start with asking questions. You know me, if you know me, Cindy, for 2 seconds, ask them the questions. Ask. If you never ask, you're never going to know the answer. So ask the questions. How does my kid learn? Does my kid like to sit still for long periods of time? Does my kid like to learn by using your hands? Like to get up and dance around? Do they bounce on a ball best when they're learning? Do they stay focused better when they're coloring on a color sheet and you're reading things out loud to them? Just get to know each of your kids' style. I only have one, so it made it easy for me to know that she wasn't going to be a sit-down kind of kid. She's one of the younger ones in their class, which brings me to my next point. The age of your child. When I went to school, the cutoff was in September, so I entered kindergarten as a 4-year-old, and I entered college as a 17-year-old. Because back then, people didn't hold people back unless there was a strong reason academically why you didn't do it. We didn't put much into developmentally of things. So, here's my story. When Ellie was in private half-day kindergarten, Ellie's one of the younger ones in her class. So at the end of kindergarten, she was going to be 6. So she rolled into kindergarten at 5. Just being 5 for, let's see, they start in August down here. So a little less than 3 months, she was 5. So she rolled into kindergarten at 5. She's going to roll out of kindergarten at 6. Well, nowadays, with people redshirting their kids or holding their kids back for sports, you can roll into kindergarten at 7 and be rolling out at 8. So let's stop and think about that for a moment. How is a 5-year-old going to compete with an almost 8-year-old in the same class? If your kid can do that, great. My kid wasn't going to be able to do that. How can you do that? Because there is big jumps between 5 and 8 developmentally. Huge jumps when you're reaching close into the 7 and 8 range than versus when you're 5. 5 and 6-year-olds. 5 and 6-year-olds and 7 and 8-year-olds, miles away developmentally. And guess what? Some people don't believe that. This is what I believe. This is what I know. And this is what the research shows. The research shows that you can have 0 formal education till age 8. And people can go to class since they were 2 all the way to 8. And by the end of the 8th year of their life, they will be in the exact same place. So that's what the research shows you. That's exactly what it shows you, because you're developmentally in the right place to learn all the right things. All right, I'm getting on my soapbox. I'm going to jump back down real quick. All right. Does your kid learn better through play? Because I'm a big proponent of playing and read aloud books all the way to age 8, because you learn faster through play than the amount of times you have to be presented with the same exact thing for that connection to be created in the brain. Do you want to alleviate some of the pressure? Some of these pressure of these people at school is crazy. Like I knew when I taught preschool, there was a kindergartner that went to kindergarten and absolutely hated it. And I was like, how do you hate kindergarten? Because I was remembering my kindergarten, where we had a nice old teacher, and you went to school to play, and you had your cute little bathroom with a small toilet, and you got to eat a snack at school because you weren't there all day, and it was the best thing that ever happened to you. Well, that's not people's experiences now. When you can't like kindergarten, how can you like the other grades that are not so fun? Do you like to travel? Do you like to be able to go? Like I tell our family, we always go left when everybody else is going right. Like we're sliding into 2 weeks going into school, back to school time. Like literally they start 2 weeks from now. And that's when our summer begins, really, because everybody goes back to school, so all the places clear out, and we get to enjoy our summertime because it's still hot. Do you want the freedom to make your decision? Like, do you want to talk about Jesus in your school? Jesus is in school, Jesus is not in school. We don't know where Jesus is somewhere in school right now. So you have control of talking about Jesus and doing Bible studies and reading the Bible with your school, if your child, if that's what you want to do. So how you decide is you start asking yourself some questions, and you start digging in to see what's best. And if you have more than one kid, it's going to be different for each kid. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. It could be different. So you guys jump into our 7-day challenge we have in the Heart-Centered Advocacy group, and go through and ask some questions too, because most likely if you're watching this video, you're thinking about homeschooling. Or you thought about homeschooling, or you're homeschooling and you're like, there has to be somebody out there that homeschools a lot differently. I'm your person. I never was in a box. I don't think inside the box, it never was a thing that I would do. That's why it was great when we homeschool, because there is no box for myself. We don't have to fit in, and my child doesn't have to fit into any box or any expectations of anybody else or society. So jump into that 7-day challenge. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. I'm here Monday through Friday live at 9:30ish every day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.